that's good. It's going to be the first thing everybody hears. Is this going or what? What are we doing here? You might be seeing this and I just don't know that it's broadcasting. What? Alright, I think it's working. Let's see. Hold on. Do we have audio? Can you hear me? Five by 5. All right. So this is the Moano mic as opposed to using the Samsung mic since I'll be moving around and stuff. And yes, top audio. Yeah, it seems like the combination of the Moano hardware and the Samsung processing kind of really cleans this up a little bit from the little bit of messing around I've done. So you're over there, not there. So good. What's up, everybody? Ed's here, Franco Walker, just me, Mr. AK, Queen Liz. Sorry, no woofles. Yeah, Gassy was here, Joe Ross. Got some people showing up. There's Maurice Walker. Did I say Ed Bird? What else here? Covered in cat here. Well, I'm always covered in cat here. Alright. So we're putting together a buddy's computer today for gaming purposes. You know what's nice about this? Is right now I'm scratching something. And you can't tell. Anyway. So I've got a temporary workbench set up that I covered in a gigantic, like I ordered one of those gigantic towels. So let's see, where do you flip the camera? I thought it was right there. Selfie wide, basic. There we go. We'll do ultra wide. So I kind of got this set up here. I already took the case out of the box and I took all the fans out because they were all wired backwards anyway. But we'll go over real quick what we got. We have the MSI 1000 watt MPG power supply. Part of the reason for that is this. Tap that. Sorry for the bounciness. This is an MSI Ventus 3 4070 Ti Super, 16 gigs. That could pull up to 450 watts or so. To cool the CPU, we got the Core Liquid 30 RV2 all-in-one water cooler. And we'll be attaching that to an MSI Z790 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi, which I have the drivers on a USB. They had everyone's releasing a new set of drivers for Intel motherboards. Got, whoa, Vengeance RAM, 32 gigs at 6,000 to go with the 14700K. We'll talk about that once everything posts. And then we have two of these Mammer Jammers, system drive, game drive. And I like to use MX6 on stuff that isn't going to be scorching hot. So, the case, is it a Lego computer? It is not a Lego computer. And if sound or anything starts going bad, just tag me, Scruff, like, you know, tag me, just so I can see that something fell apart. Or isn't working. So, as you can see, I already took the fans out. Like I said, they were all facing the wrong way. Like, we would have created such a vacuum in here that we probably would have created a black hole. Which, granted, if they're cold enough, that would have helped if we were going to overclock, but we're not. So, took that apart. The back here we have the controller for the top ports, and I'll adjust the camera as we go. That's part of the reason why I got this new camera mount, and I'll try not to bounce it too much. There was a case here for your 2.5 drives, which there will never be any, so that's just gone. I already took out that so far. We got to knock these out like they're electrical boxes. once we figure out how many slots. I think that might be a double slot. I don't think it's a triple slot card. And once we get stuff in, we'll see where fans go as well. I would like to get the cooler into here. I think that'll sit nicely, even if we have to split the difference and put the fans outside and like the radiator inside. Or, you know, the other way around, whatever. Because the back of the case does have, so that's power supply area. That's the side cooler area. And I've got all the panels on the side here. So, let's see what we got here. All right, I'm gonna move the camera. Like, I'll warn you as I move cameras and stuff. So let's see, let's loosen, which one do we want to loosen here? It's a new camera rig, so pardon me. I tried to hook it up to the main computer, but I couldn't get audio to come through right. Because otherwise I would have done this all through OBS like the normal rig. But we have not that luxury. Alright, let's see what we got in here. I haven't really opened anything else. Just a case, just to get that out of the way. Let's see here. Let me tap that. We have the antenna for the wireless part. That's weird. I wonder if there's more to this, because this actually goes into a clip. Is this magnetic? Yeah, it's magnetic, so that'll just zonk to something. Let's see here. And generally speaking, when you build a computer, you keep the motherboard box for all the parts and stuff. Okay, shaky bits. This is their updated mascot. That's, the normal one. This is their little goofy one now. Stickers you can put on the batteries if you want. Oh, it's whatever. We have whatever that's for. We have the drive that will come with drivers, but we have SATA cables. I'm gonna need those. This is, that looks like a USB 2 extension. Quick install guide. Let's see if it mentions what that particular cable is for. I feel like this is probably just the generic guide. Alright, I know that's an adapter for something, so we're not going to worry about that. And I also have my hardware kit over there from the MPG or the MEG board I used. Like, the more expensive the motherboards, the more junk they come with. But actually, it came with some pretty useful stuff. Let me put this here. Alright. That case with 9 fans and a controller, which I'm hoping that's just flux. Because it looks like the capacitor shit itself, but it could just be flux from the surface mount, because there's other traces of stuff on there, but it just like wipes off. So I think that just might be some flux. But that with the controller, and that controller plugs into your motherboard, which MSI has the ARGB plugs, has 9 fans. Nothing special. The cords are nice that they're long, but that's just more cable management. And these are ARGB, comes with 9 fans. It was like 115 bucks. So not bad. It was just, one of them eBay random name joints. But it looked cool, and it's like a really generic, basic version of a Lian Li O&O dynamic, basically. The new, the quote, new standard, as it was, I guess you could say. Alright, there's the Mobo. And this little case here, you'll see, you never get rid of this case. You always keep it in case you need to ship it or do anything else. That's pretty nice. I also have, this motherboard didn't come with it, but mine did, and I didn't use it because I have a 30 series. But if this 40 is pretty heavy, I do have a support bracket system you put on here to kind of hold it up a little bit. I guess that's where we put in drive 1. And whenever you're putting 2 drives in, especially on the newer stuff, put your first drive as close to the CPU as possible, because that's going to be your direct bus. And the next one, put as far away from this slot, your graphics card slot, as possible. Because if you go, oh, it's my second drive, and you put it in number 2, you're actually using up this. There's, this has 16 lanes of communication. If you plug this one in, then this goes to 8, and that goes to 8. Or sometimes it'll even go 4 and 4, or it'll just shift all around, or it might be 8 and 2. But either way, first one's as close, second one's as far. And that way you're always guaranteed to have, you're not screw up your graphics card. Now obviously check your motherboard manufacturing recommendations, blah, blah, blah. Because there might be some configuration difference, but generally speaking, that's the safe bet. So let's see. Might as well go ahead and start loading up. How's the glare's not horrible. I think some of what I'm seeing is just on the phone screen. See who's over here. What's up, D Wood? Andy P, Red Dwarfer. I've never had a new motherboard, says Franco. Well, that's all right. I've had a couple. Let's see. It's flopping around in there. That's fine. Where's this Cutty Sharpie Sharp? Where the hell did the razor blade go? Didn't we just have it? Or not? I specifically set the razor blade somewhere that I wouldn't lose it, so that I could just go ahead and lose it. Ah, there it is. I stuck it on my phone case and then I covered my phone up. These always pop loose in there. And keep the case, because the case has your serial number on it. Oop. That goes over there, that goes over there. And there we have it. So what you do is you leave the plastic guard on there, pop that up, careful, take your time. All those little springy penny pins in there are really freaking delicate. Pop this open. Look at all the neat pads. It's like they're trying to say something to us. What are you saying? I don't know what to say. See, this is weird. This almost looks like it's upside down. Always give it a little wiggle. Not like, just that tiniest little. Make sure everything's seated. And now with that cover on there, just go ahead, push down. That just pops right off as it should. Now just push down. It's going to be tight. Oh, it's going to be tight, especially on these 13th and 14th gen ones. They actually have plates to help balance out some of the weight, because all it's pushing down is these two tabs. They do sell frames that you can additionally add, save this, to help even out the pressure. But for the most part, oh, and save this, the Intel case too. Just in case, you never know. Update, might want to sell it. Lamma jamma. So that's in there. And modern day computer stuff, like, you don't really have to worry about anti-static and all that stuff. I'm not saying you should like lick it and all that, but should be fine. Now this is Web Debbie. This is for a coworker. He is an avid Helldivers 2 player. He currently has a 9th gen he's got an i9 990 or i9 9900K. It might be a K. And also standard with RAM. Don't just put it in the first 2 slots. That will slow it way down. Generally what you want to do is in the 2nd and the 3rd. And actually even right here, can I zoom on that? Ooh. Right here, if you look close, that says first, and it's pointing to this slot and this slot, the 2nd and the 4th. Especially if you're building a gaming computer, you only want 2 sticks of RAM. Because if you add any more, actually, hold on, I'm learning to zoom, not trying to make everyone dizzy. I wish there was an easier way to do that. But if you put 4 sticks of RAM in here, you actually put a fairly decent amount of stress on the memory controller, and you can, in some instances, it can cause stability issues. So always try to go with 2 sticks of RAM when you can, especially if it's a gaming rig, which is going to be pushed for longer durations of time and in different ways. And most of these you should just push down. You open those clips up and then just push. And it will just snap into place. It feels horrible because it's squishy, but that's what works. Sorry about the camera. We're kind of have to deal with the squishiness or the bounciness. And save this. I mean, it's RAM. You might as well just stick it right back in the pack. Just again, you never know when you might want to store some RAM. Let me see what's up in chat. Lick the memory. Lick the memory. What's up, Jeremy Harrington? So there's Jeremy Harrington in chat. This is his computer. Jeremy figured out how YouTube works on Friday. And these boxes, I don't... do these have the serial numbers on them? Model number? No. Okay. So you don't need to worry about those. Whee! Just throw those around a little bit. Jeremy, you didn't see that? Alright. Where is there any other serial number? That's a manual. Doesn't hurt to hold these cases as well, just because you never know. You keep a bunch of stuff as you're building your machine, and then you see how much of it you actually can fit in the box, and then you decide what you actually want to keep. Alright, so that's the game one. Actually I can keep the zoom right there. I'll just move that. That is system. Alright, let's see. Oh, actually, let me get that up first. Okay. Alright. This is a latch style. So how does that work? Alright. Just fling it off of there. Perfect, perfect. Alright. Always remember to peel this. That is what's going to heat sink, especially on these drives. Like, they really want to be heat sinked out. There's one on the bottom as well. Make sure you fully seat that, and you can tell because it will... Let's see, what is that? Is that supposed to be a lock? I've never seen this style. Let me take a quick look at the manual, just to make sure pretty sure that's there just as a stop. But let me make sure. Where do we put the manual? There you go. And always save this because you got a cool sticker. All right. Solid state. quick install. What do you recommend for these? Like, I have no shame checking manuals for very expensive stuff, especially when it doesn't actually belong to me. Does this have any suggestions for SATA or M.2 RAM, chip, power, blah, 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 blah. All right, so that's just going to be the spacer. Let's see. See, it looks like it needs to go down a little bit more. Ah, there it is. You just got to get it in just the right spot. Okay. And that locks it in. Nice. We're learning together. Every time I put one of these together, it's a slightly different thing. Like even the other MSI I put together is a completely different lock system. Again, make sure you peel that. Hey, while we're at it, go ahead and peel. I don't know if you can see that. And the yellowy green makes it go faster. Okay, that lines up in those slots. Move that. Push that down. Push that in. We're good. This is an interesting latch system. Just want to make sure it's nice and solid. So I'm going to take it on and off a couple times. I just want to see the behavior of the latch. All right, that's actually it. It's one of those things you want to make sure it's really that easy. That's all. That's all we're doing there. Especially if you're if it's a different latching system than you're used to. Oh, shit. Twist the lock. Yep. All right. This. Nope. Do. These are actually screws. I'll do my best to kind of keep an eye on chat, but it's kind of far away. All right. This only has a heat sink on the top, which is fine. As long as it has something on there, you're going to be pretty good to go. Maybe push it up so you can kind of see it a little better. Yeah, I like these latches. They just have to be in just the right spot. And then you spin. Ah, see, we just learned something. Okay, let me take that off. So when this goes down, that spins. All right, there is a full lock on that. Sweet. All right. Peel this. I haven't built computers, besides the past few, in the past couple months. I haven't built computers in decades. Like, I messed around with the studio PC, but I didn't build it, you know what I mean? I got a pre-built just because that was the only way to get a video card at the time. But now I'm learning all the new stuff that all the motherboards and everything have. And like the new techniques, learn about the frame for these if you're doing like overclocking and stuff like that. All right, put that over there. Don't need that. Okay, what do we got here? Let's zoom out. Ooh. All right. I'm going to take a sip of thing here and check the chat. The other way around. Yeah, I get there. Yeah, it's actually a nice latch system, Red Dwarf. I like that. A lot better than having to fiddle fuck with them screws. Whoops. I meant a French seal. If you look up a French seal, it's a fuck. You don't want to have seals, flopping around on your motherboard, fiddling around on it. as a fiddlefuck would do. A fiddly seal. That's exactly what I meant. Alright, what do we got here? Power supply. We'll put that in later. Alright, well, let's see. Let me pick the camera up. Camera moving. That was pretty smooth, alright. Yeah, and check the live button. I guess would it be right around here? If you want to keep live, keep up with chat. All right, this, like I said when I did the budget PC build, it's your better motherboards. This is all attached. You don't have to worry about all the tabs getting in the right places on the back of the I/O board and all that. But either way, this is what we got back here. And this is for most newer boards now have BIOS flash, and most new motherboards are dual BIOS, so if you screw it up, you still have your old BIOS. A little bit of high definition output, which most people don't use because you're probably wearing headphones. It's nice to have USB, and these are Lightning compatible. 2.5 gig network, which is more than you'll ever need for a game, which is always a good thing. And of course, when you're setting these down, you don't just flop it in there and slide it around because, I mean, I could flick that off with my fingernail if I'm not careful. So you just got to be very careful, very slow. I'll fix the camera in a second. And what I like to do is give it the old reach around. There's Ronnie outside. There we go. These two screws I'm going to put in loose because they may get the risers for the extra GPU bracket I have. So we'll see how that works out once we get everything in here and we check clearances and stuff. But I would like to use that riser. What it is, once your GPU is here, you got this bracket that would go underneath. It kind of just goes right over top there, and then it's got these little rubber feet that you can use to hold the GPU up. And you can put one on the top and one on the bottom to kind of sandwich it if you want. 4070s aren't too heavy, but my 3060 is so light it almost wouldn't work right. But if we can use it in this one, then we will. Save this as well. Actually, I'll probably save this. I don't know that Jerbear is ever going to need to store his motherboard, but I suppose if he does, he can grab it from me. Thunderbolt, yeah, what did I say? Lightning. Oh, wait, is it both? What is it? It says it on here. Oh yeah, Lightning Gen 5. I don't know, there's so many stupid terms for all this shit. It's the sparkly one, I don't know. What's our new protocol called? Sparkles. There we go. What's up, Lion 39? All right, let's move this over here. Like I said, sorry for the bounciness. I don't know if the camera is working on stabilizing it or not, since it's being run by Camera-Fi. All right, so that's all good there. That's, oh, we gotta put the screws in, dumbass. Okay. I didn't pre-sort the screws. Hold on. I'm like, oh, you can see where I'm at. Okay. You have to see about that controller. I got a feeling that's just flux that's on that controller, but if not, we can work around it. That's all right. Do I have any magnets on the ceiling? Oh, I do. I have any? Oh, there's another one. Hold on. Hold on a sec here. See if that'll do it just with a neodymium. Yay! Right. And then if it wears off, you can usually just stick the magnet to the screwdriver shaft and it'll help. And don't tighten these down until you have them all in. Can I reach that one, or is that, no, okay, the heatsink is not in the way. Good, good. I work on enough industrial stuff that you never know when you got to move a flange or something. That's why whenever I'm putting something down with multiple fasteners on a flat plane or whatever, I just wait to tighten. And again, at this point, take your time, because if your screwdriver slips, you're not guaranteed to break something, but it's not necessarily going to be a good thing. Not necessarily going to be a bad thing, but just take your time. Don't be afraid to use two hands to brace. No one's going to think you're not cool if you're since you're not using one hand. It's all good. And I know a lot of people use those torque limiting screwdrivers, which is good, I guess, for mass production, but I've always been a hand torquer. Yeah. Oh, I fix it! Get the new more and the new minnow. Sorry, I watch a lot of Jay's 2 cents. Ooh, I fix it! Alright, let's get all this lined up good. I'm going to leave those two out for now until we figure out if we can even use the bracket. It's going to be interesting to see how these fans clear with the board. Easy. That's already been tightened, but I'm going to double check it. Okay, I'm leaving those other two screws out for now. Pretty sure I already said that probably twice. That's a tight corner there. There's a bunch of capacitors right there. Okay, verify that. Just like to go around and check torque. Alright, that's good there. So we got those in, and now let's see. Let's move this over. Let's get to the heart of the situation here. This is the most powerful video card I've ever touched. Alright, I'm going to take this off camera and go do despicable things with it. Alright. It's kind of heavy. Standard screwdriver for, these are 92 millimeter fans, I believe. Okay. Make sure you put that in a precarious place so that it falls over. I don't know what you need for quick start. Plug in harder, plug in even harder, check it again to make sure it's still plugged in. Oh, this has a bracket with it. I believe that is what this is. So we may not need the generic adapter. Oh my god, it's got the fucking high power plug on it. Alright, well it's only two, so this one isn't going to catch on fire. That's only the 4090s. I didn't know that they were so fucking hard up on that thing that they had it on all these. So in case you don't know, in the 4090s, NVIDIA supplies the adapters for the OE, hence the NVIDIA name brand on there and not saying MSI. And if you bought a 4090 and you use the one that's 4 of these into that, you're pretty much guaranteed to melt your 4090. And all kinds of hell went on with that, with NVIDIA blaming everybody else until they finally admitted that it was a shitty design. Right there. This little plug, fingernail for scale, is meant to carry 600 watts at 12 volts. Like, they really push it on that. Luckily, this card does not pull 600 watts. So, should be just fine. They haven't had any I don't think I've heard any problems on anything but the 4090s and maybe a couple 4080s that were overclocked. Okay. Bring this back in. Alright, so what does this do? It definitely looks like it's a support. Was there a quick start guide with this? Oh yeah, there was. That was me going, duh, what do you need to do with a quick start guide? Well, I guess you gotta look and see what that bracket does. If it lists it in here, and it does not. Love that shit. Alright, anybody in there quite know how this is that? No, that doesn't seem right. Just want to seem like this would go across the top. Oh, yeah, it is. It's like this. And that just kind of holds that. That uses, here, I'll show you. Let me slide this back over. So once that's in, I'm not going to set it on it because, you know, capacitors. You got all the holes right here. These go to those holes, and then that just sits across to hold it up. So we don't need to use my bracket because they have one with it. That's probably going to work even better. So let's put those last 2 screws in. Call that money. Then we'll add a 4070 Super, or what is it, TI Super or Super TI? TI Super, that's right, yeah. The Super is always the last part of it. I don't know, it's like cars. Grab the new RTX 5090 Ti Super 6 Extreme fucking Strix water-cooled overclocked 5000G XL doobie doobie doo ah. And like, that's just the model number, you know what I mean? And I thought it was ridiculous when I spent $500 for a BFG Tech Doom 3 special edition video card. God. Kill for that. This was what? Was it $800 for this video card, if I'm not mistaken? Or was that the 48? No, the 4080s are about $1,000. So yeah, this should have been about $800 if I'm remembering right. Alright, this is a dual slot. So let's pop 2 of these out without scratching the motherboard. Like I said, they're just in there like fucking punch outs on an electrical box. That's fine. Because they do come with, if you need them, they do come with vented replacements, which we shouldn't need. The other thing that's nice about these cases is there's so much air around them. Really, all you gotta do is pressurize them and minimal exhaust and it still works fine. Let's see. What's up, Uncle Duncan? The not so quick getting started guide, as Uncle Duncan calls them. Yeah, that does seem to be the case sometimes, especially when, like, as we're seeing here, a lot of them, they have one quick start guide for all their shit. Or like one for Intel and one for AMD. If it doesn't crack, it ain't torqued enough. Oh no, I just realized like I'm not being highlighted because I'm not logged in on that computer right now. It's just doing generic YouTube. Oh, and I got copyright struck again last night for Sending the Clowns that Rob played. So if you go to rewatch that video or you got to catch up on it, it may be monetized because they copyright struck it and monetized it. So I got to fight that again. Bunch of dumbasses. Still waiting to hear a response back from the original one that is a bunch of bullshit that I disputed. All right. Oh, did I take the wrong? Oh, no. All right. One of the slots I pulled out, I didn't need to. Actually, I pulled one high, which is actually, that's fine because that's right where we can put one of those to help ventilate. Actually, those you can't use for anything once those are out. All right, so we'll plug in one of these above it, when it's time. Oh, there's stuff on the back too. And yeah, basically when you go down the parts list, I'm pretty much just building a MSI gaming machine because MSI uses Samsung drives sometimes. And, oh yeah, there's the protector. And they generally use Corsair RAM for their gaming stuff. Anything else? Okay, it comes with plugs, which are nice. Save those. That way, whatever you're not using, just leave plug just to help keep a little bit of the dust out of the machine. And the best part of this is, as big as this mother is, that's where the circuit board ends. Like, it's just a very small, like, it's only this big. It's just all heatsink and fan. And you see in there, you can see the tubes. So, it's a big mammer jammer. You gotta watch, there's a lock down here. You gotta open it up. Because if you crack this hook where that goes in, every manufacturer said, hey, we're going to put a bunch of tiny traces in all the, these are multi-layer. You can almost see it. You can almost see like multi-layer boards. So they put tracks wrapping right around that. So if this hook cracks, like, you got to get it sent in, and they'll say that you have to replace the whole board. But if you send it to like Northwest Repair or, a proper graphics card repair shop, they can usually fix that. I don't know if you heard that snap. That was it settling just like the RAM. So now that is in there on the hook. All right. Then we have this will go right about there. That's an interesting way to support it. Yeah, it is seated all the way. 1 second. Really? Really? How do I not have a flashlight nearby? Alright, that's fine. Let me just rotate the case here. Yep. Fully seated. No pins showing. That's clicked. Whoop, that's clicked in there. Alright. So let's find some screws. Right, we got this thing here as well. Let's see how this gets incorporated into all this. I don't know if that's going to fit with this. Ooh. Just barely does. Okay. This is the fun part of all this, is figuring out all the little pieces and how everything's going to fit together. Okay, so let's take that floppy piece off. Oh yeah, I was a little bummed when I took it apart. They kind of went a little ape on one of the holes there, but not a big deal. Just one of those things you see and you go, yeah, all right. Let's see, that drops. Like there's a specific order, specific way to plug all this stuff in. And it's being a butthead. Why aren't you? Ah, right. Get that in there. They actually just want this to be a door. Okay, it's just the hinges weren't bent correctly. So a door, so we should be able to put all the screws down and then close the door. So, that's cool. So let's get this main, woo! Let's get this main screw in here first. Oh wait, that's the screw off of the bracket. Let's grab the silver screw for this one. That's still magnety, yep. Okay. Let's get some more screws in. Screw. Oh yeah, cat fur is like, cat fur is my life, basically. Everything is cat fur! Here you see if Ronnie has one of his little sessions where he sausages up next to me on the couch. Like it will look like I am just an extension of Ronnie. There's so much fur. Okay. You want to push it up a little bit so that once the weight, gravity hits it, it pulls it. You know, it's going to sag down a little bit. And you want them very, very snug, but not tight. If you try to go tight on a computer case, you will probably strip it. Just go very, very snug. I feel like that could go up some more. Okay, that'll offer pretty good support, I would say. Let's put this last screw for the card itself in. Okay, and let's put our little vent thing in here if we can. And there we go. Didn't want to fit around the heatsink, but we got it. So remember, if you're building a computer yourself, you're going to come up with pretty much, unless like someone gives you exactly what to build and it's a bulletproof setup, you're generally going to run into little issues here and there of, well, that doesn't quite fit, or that doesn't quite go there, you know, stuff like that. Just don't sweat it. Just see what you can do. Check your return policies, yada yada. You know what I mean. 'Cause everything might still be good to go. And even, like, you can buy the best computer case in the world, but if you get the wrong, well, not necessarily the wrong, but you get an incompatible setup, sometimes you got to get that Dremel out. Like, it's not unusual to have to Dremel cases, especially in complicated setups, especially if you're running like a custom water loop for water cooling. You may have to Dremel some stuff out, and that's okay. It just how that goes sometimes. And then sometimes you'll do it and everything will be absolutely kosher and perfect, and you'll be like, what the hell just happened? And I like how they have that little access if you got a cord coming out. Alright, that's sturdy. Sturdy. That's tight. So all those are tight. Those are tight. Tight, 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 tight. Save this, you know, in case you have to ship this off or anything. Save all your video card stuff, especially like for packing and shipping, because if it is there ever a warranty thing or whatever, you want to ship it as safe as possible and not just give it a single wrap of bubble wrap and throw it in a box and let it get the shit beat out of it while it's getting shipped. So save especially your motherboard, or sorry, your video card packaging, slots, all the casing, the plastic wrap. Save it all, just in case. Save it all! What's wrong with you? Alright, fine. Alright. Well, there's all line up good. So yes, the other thing you got to check is, you know, check the, once everything's mounted, make sure you can actually access your video ports. Because every once in a while you'll get something just lining up weird. So we got HDMI and 3 display ports. And then also, since we got the K version, Mr. Jeremy apparently has multiple monitors. So his gaming monitor is going here, and then his other monitor is going here. It doesn't matter which plug you use, it'll all just select it. That way, the 4070 is only processing his video game, and his second monitor is being processed by the GPU that's in the chip. So, one monitor per, or like my setup upstairs, it's the same thing. I got one here and one there. And that's the best way to get you some more frames, because then it's only processing one monitor. Alright, let's, I bet I may have to pull this back out to get the cooler in there. Shiza. See, that's one other one of those things. Sometimes you find out you got to go in a different order. Might be able to, might fit it there. How easy does this come off? Oh, that's riveted. Well, part of it is. Or is that whole thing riveted in? Is that a squeezy tab? Yeah, that's actually held in by squeeze tabs, but I don't want to squeeze plastic tabs because you know how that goes. Alright, well, let's see if we got to pull this back out. Not a big deal if we do, because I'd rather put the cooler here than here. Well, I'd rather put it here than there, but like one thing to keep in mind with water cooling, you know, your CPU or GPU, or, well, in this case CPU, may be running at 80 degrees Celsius, but the air coming through is still only going to be just over ambient, you know, just enough to warm things up, because it's not touching the water directly. So if you have radiators blowing into your computer, it's just fine. You're not going to overheat anything. The air moves so fast through that it can't pick up, you know, gigantic amounts of heat, which is why you have to run a bunch of fans and variable speed, depending on demand. See you later, Web Devi. Dremel and mini files, that's it. Oh, this isn't even packed with the fans mount. Oh, they probably don't mount the fans because they don't know if you're going through a bracket or not. Got a lot of stuff with it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me move this here. Alright, so we got 3 ball bearing fans, RGB, from MSI, and we will obviously be using them for the MSI cooler and not the case fans. And those will be controlled directly from the motherboard. Ooh. Alright. Oh, they got a lot of screws in there. Hopefully we won't have to get any weird stuff. Noise reducer. So I'm sure that's it. There's probably a diode in there. I don't think we need that. A bunch of mounting screws. I wonder if they're long enough to go through everything. They may ship with 2 different sizes. Because sometimes, because a lot of times, you know, just going through this bracket here to sandwich that in between the fans and the radiator, a lot of times that's just enough that it can't catch any threads. Put that over there. And there's a ton of screws. Did that come with any paperwork? I don't think it did. Okay, that's fine. Nope. The user manual is a QR code. That's fine. Is this pump built into the radiator? So this has a pump in the radiator as opposed to in the head. Do that to get around the patent. Okay. Let's see, that's our shit. See, that's Intel. I guess I'm going to have to, may have to go get the work phone. Which Intel? Like that's this one here. Yep. Because that's the same one. Ooh. They're both Intel brackets. Oh, that's for the video card. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Well, first, let's see. And it doesn't matter if your hoses are on the top or bottom. All that matters is that the pump is not in the lowest part of the system. So in this, we'll see if... Seeing like right now, we just run into our first thing. This case says that that side panel, hold on, my foot is having a Charlie horse. Woo, really bad. Ow. Wow. Hold on, good grief. What is going on, y'all? Now, there's that LGA 1700. Ow. What the crap, y'all? Phew. Alright. But anyway, so now, this is too tall. So even though the case says it supports it, since this has slightly different tanks in it, it does not fit on the top, or on the It won't fit in the back. Let's see if the case is long enough. Just makes it. Okay, so we're going to have to put this on the top blowing out, which is fine. Put that. See, where does this go where it's not really yoinking on them hoses so hard? If we spin it around. Like I said, just move slow, move careful, don't be in a hurry. Well, if you can't rotate that emblem, this is going to be kind of... Can you rotate the emblem? Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. All right, so you can move the emblem, so let's go back to this direction. Like, emblems are important, you know what I mean? Set that there. Then I can rotate the emblem to match. Let's see. Come on, emblem. Take your time. Let's see which way. Because this emblem can only rotate so many degrees in a particular direction. There we go. So, that'll work. Okay. Now the fans are going to be a little bit tight, so they're not too thick. All right, let's add some fans. Then we'll put, oh, did I just headbutt the camera? Sorry. Move it down. All right, cool. All right, so there's the brackets, but they have a specific one that would appear. Actually, no, this isn't. It's not for this, is it? Does this come in something else? Oh no, this is the back plate, you dumbass. Okay. Sorry, yeah. Alright, let's see. Oh, and that's the older style back plate. Alright. Just getting it all sorted out in my head. Alright, so we don't need these. Put those up there. Let's see. That's a bag. Keep the bags just in case. Okay, so that goes on the back of the motherboard. I'm pretty sure there's a hole for that. Yeah. What's nice is you have room in the case to add your stuff. Comes with whatever this is. I don't know. I'll use MX6. Have good luck with it. You know, if we're not doing anything super holy crap extreme, then it's just fine. All right, so this is going to be sitting up there like this. So we're going to want the fans to have their cords in the back. And remember, a standard fan blows towards the wire. So we want these blowing up. But you can get reverse blade fans so that you don't have to see all the bracketry and the wires and stuff. You can get reverse bladed fans. Let's see, that's going to go up, and that's going to screw one up. Okay. Let's see here. There should be probably a short set. Or no, these are all just the same size. Okay. I'll go ahead, since I'm not going to be doing a pass through. That should be fine. So yeah, I want all the wires towards the back. I'm going to find your screwdriver. And these are on rubber mounts, so you get them pretty snug. Not very snug, pretty snug. Just to help with the noise, you know, fan noise. You don't need to go ham on these things. F-150 radiator. They sell bigger radiators than this even. Especially if you're trying to, you know, run a, especially if you're rolling the dice and trying to overclock a 14900K. They have better water coolers if you want. And we are going to put the most recent BIOS update on this, which came out like a week and a half ago. Or about a week ago, actually. No, actually it was a week and a half ago, and then last week they came out with a beta BIOS to deal with the 14900K. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to put a beta BIOS on here. But the 14700Ks aren't really that affected by it. But yeah, Intel pretty much shot themselves in the foot with the 13th and 14th gen. They were so worried about the gigahertz race. I mean, like 13th and 14th gen are the same die, same process, same everything. They're just better binned. They introduced an entire generation of CPU, and all it was from the factory they overclocked the 13th gen and then called it 14th. And then wonder why they're having so many stability problems. Apparently this new generation coming out, this Core Ultra 285K, I think is, or is it like a Core Ultra Core? Nah, for some reason they decided to change all the nomenclature and all the labeling for the processors because I guess somebody was bored at the office and needed to justify a paycheck or something. Let's see here. This come with sticky, oh good. And peel the sticky off, that way it sticks to the back of the motherboard and doesn't fall off. Like if you're putting things on and off. Because once this is stuck to the motherboard, these will stick through, and then you thread these in. And then you figure out where the caps are. Okay. So that's for that. And you got your spring things. I think I'm going to have to grab the manual to see which spacers I need for Intel. Let's see, what is this, a MAG? Give me a sec here, let me pull this up. MSI MAG Core Liquid. All right, that's right. I forgot you can still hear me. I don't have to like be all loud and shit. Core Liquid 360R V2 manual. V2. Let's see what you got. Screw your cookies. Manual, multi-language, download. All right. Sorry, I can't see chat at the moment. Let's see here. K or Q? Intel 1700. is direct, no spacers really. That's for the older Intels, like the way older Intels. Alright, so this goes direct down, which is always sketchy. Because they don't really have stops. Oh, this one does have a stop. Okay. Thing that's sketchy about putting these on a lot is you put a lot more tension on these than you think you'd have to. The first time when I did my 11900K, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this right? Like, I was waiting for the motherboard to snap in half, but I'm like, I gotta keep going. Like, I don't know what else to do here. And it was fine, but it was very sketchy. Sketchy's a fun word. Alright, let's put that up there. That'll be extra parts for Jerbear. All this stuff, because this can all be used on a future rig, or it can be taken apart and put on a different rig for somebody else, as long as you keep all the hardware. Alright, so that is that. This is power adapter. I guess that's if you... What is it? That's for that. Where is the pump power? Pump power. Pump power. There it is. That for that? No. That should go right into a fan header. That's kind of weird. Let me see what these say here. Do. That in. Connections. Connect the radiator to pump fan. Connect the pump to J Rainbow. The optional fan downs, the optional slow down fan. Yeah, we're not slowing the fans down, so we don't need that. Yeah, let me see that. How about that little adapter is... Ow. So this adapter and this adapter basically work together if you want to slow your fans down and confuse. You're basically like, you're doing a 90s modification to like a frickin' air intake temperature on a car. You're confusing the motherboard so it changes the fan speeds. That's weird. I mean, I guess if MSI is good with it, whatever. Alright, but we're not doing that. So, alright. Got the fans mounted. Leave this up here. And also don't forget before you put it on, peel that plastic as well. Before you put your thermal paste on, otherwise you're just adding an insulator to something that should be cooling it off. Yay. Right. And I will state this as it should be obvious. Once you have your video card mounted, when you move the case, you are not in a hurry at all. You are a very patient puppy. Okay? Because if you want to fling this case around, you're not going to have a 70. Well, I mean, you'll still have a 4070, but it won't be as... it'll be crack-a-lacking all right, but not in the way you wanted. Alright. It just sticks there. Be careful when you're pushing down. You don't want to like slip off and break all the capacitors off. I mean, granted, they're just decoupling capacitors, but you know what? If they want clean signal right there, I want clean signal right there, so I don't want to rip them off. We'll have to do this upside down so I can get to the screws. Okay, so we're going to do that, and that. So where are all the cords? Oh, did I put one of the fans on back? Two of the fans? Oh, wow. I totally screwed up when I put all the fans on. I'm surprised I didn't get yelled at. Hold on, let me fix the fans. Running my mouth, not paying attention. But That's why you always double check. I just put the wires not in the most optimal location. I mean, like, it would work fine, but if I want to do some nice wire management, then now we need to rotate this one 90 degrees. Whoops. Make sure you're throwing everything around while you're doing it. Okay, like that. Because that's going that way, and the cooler's going that way. And again, just be careful when you're threading these in, especially because the threads in the radiator, they aren't, it doesn't matter who makes it, they're not going to be super tough threads. Woo, 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 woo. Hold on, computer. There's chat. They're not super tough threads because it's basically just through thick sheet metal. So that's the other reason to be careful, because you don't, oh, it's 420. Yeah, let me get a toot here. I haven't had one of them in a while. You can tell because I'm talking, and I'm talking fast. Really haven't had much cannabis today at all. I got my bong sitting behind me. Took a hit of that before the show started just to, like, you know, calm it down a little bit. But that's been about it, I think. Sorry I'm not quite paying super attention to chat, but we have other nights for that, but obviously I'm still looking. Yeah, let me mount this and then I will get my medication. What's up, Lori? Scruff, have you mentioned with all those fans, the compute will have to be tied down or it will float around the room like a hovercraft? I think that's the concept Jeremy's going for. A hover pewter. I do believe that was part of the conceptual idea of buying the case with 9 fans in it. Yeah, no, actually, the problem why you buy 9 fans when you try to use them as much as you can is the fact that, like, a fucking standard cooling fan from, like, Corsair or whatever, like, they start at 25, 30 bucks. And God forbid you want to get the ones that click together that are, like, cableless. They start at 45, 50 bucks for a fan. For this, 50 bucks. So we went with that option, which should be fine. Because at this point, he's going to have a couple extra fans since we got the MSI fans here. But all right, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that puff thing. Calm me the fuck down a little bit. Again, the French seal. You know, you always, if you're going to be dealing with seals in a French zoo, you always want them to be a calm fuck. Now, and if you didn't recognize from the couple of the shots we got, I'm gonna move the camera. We are in my old bedroom. That fucking hellhole. Ooh. Look, you can see all the drywall screws. I'm really bad at drywall, so that's why I build computers instead. Network is not stable. Hold on. Alright. Looks pretty stable to me. I don't know. And if this microphone goes dead, I have the second one. That's why I don't have 2 microphones out right now. So cheers, everybody. I'm going to get the bong. Yeah, I forgot. Looking away isn't going to help because the microphone goes with you. Happy 420, everybody. And if Jeremy, I assume you're still watching, cheers, buddy. We'll have this in your hands in a couple days after we get updates and benchmarks. Toot toot. sorry if that's super loud. I don't know if it's the noise reduction is kicking in or not when I'm coughing. All right. All right. How long out of time is it? Is it 3:30? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get this radiator mounted. Let's see, ultra wide. And there's my rockin' 720 test monitor. All right, let's go with basic. There we go. That got a little weird on the screen. All right. I hope the resolution's coming through pretty good. Seems like it should be. I don't know if it's fuzzing in and out at all, but all right. So the only wire that's going to be a little more difficult to hide is the pump wire. I don't want to run it across the top because then we're, you know, squishing it. But we can. Whoop. Easy. Let's undo the thing. Now, as you're going through all these, when you're building a PC, save these. Because if you don't have zip ties, if you don't have like Velcro straps or whatever, you can use these for wire management. But even if you do have Velcro and zip ties, these are good for temporary wire management. Like while you're doing it, you can wrap them in these, and then when you're done, you do the zip tie, you do the Velcro. So save your twisty ties for temporary wire management as you're putting everything together. Like that's almost critical just for wire management purposes. All right, I'm straightening this wire out a little bit over here. What we'll do is we'll pull it down along there. And then in the back, we can go from there, which means we should probably wire manage this now, just along the back. Otherwise, it's going to be quite difficult to get to. Oop, bonk. All right. Basic. See, the ultra wide is really big, right? Okay. Woo, woo, woo. All right, we'll just stick with that so it doesn't get too weird. All right. So I have me. I bought a bunch of zip ties, and this is the packaging they came in. I have no idea. But we'll start with the tiny ones. All right, let me pull up a chair here. And let's see what we can do. So I'm going to want to pull everything to this corner so it can drop down in like this area of the case. Let's see, where's the fan header here? Oops, sorry. Let's see, that is... Okay, that's the pump fan, that's the CPU fan. There's some jumpers, there's 2 power there. I'm just looking for the fan headers. So I don't think we'll see about that controller. But a lot of wire management may not be on this stream because that's something that can take a really long time. But we'll at least get the post, you know what I mean? All right, there's all the system fans down there. We got 4 system fans down there. We got one right here. There's none there. Pump in that, and then a system fan, CPU fan, pump fan. The CPU fan will be hooking up to these. And then the pump will be right next to it. So ultimately, these are going to the exact same spot. And there's a J Rainbow right next to it. So it's literally 1, 2, 3 plugs. So we just need to get all these into one cable. That pops down. Sorry, I keep hitting the damn phone. And that needs to come down. Yeah, actually, if we bring it straight down the dead center of this assembly, and luckily these screws, that'll be what we wire manage to, because there's nothing else on here. Otherwise, you just kind of tuck the wires as much as you can, and you just keep looping them back and forth, and you build like a stiff pack of wires. Should I bring this down some? I feel like I should. That's pretty smooth. Let me try to straighten it out if I can. It's not bad for like this is like a $30 mount. And it's the exact same thing as the microphone mount upstairs. It just has a stick to make it taller. All right. All right, so this is going to be obviously on its own. What you doing, buddy? There you go. Everybody out. Yeah, this I'll wire manage now just so that we can move on. I'll do some, I'll likely do basic wire management as we go, but like I said, I'll probably finish it off camera because that can be tedious. And by the time we get to that point, I'm probably going to want to eat some dinner. But we'll see. And there's the phone. Do. See chat. What's up, Craig? How's it going? All right. Just kind of flatten these out a little bit just to make it a little easier. You gotta watch for kinks like that you don't drag them because it'll really pinch the cable. Usually it doesn't matter too much, but you don't want to pinch the shit out of it if you don't need to. All right. So, oh, and I also have tape in case these RGB connectors are a little loose because sometimes that happens. So that's so the fans have no splitters, huh? There we go. Okay. Actually, that's not bad. That's... Oh. I was kind of hoping it was like 3 into 1 as opposed to a chain, but that's fine too. And then this will plug into the motherboard, so we can actually attach that. That will be long enough to reach the motherboard if we attach it like here. Wobble, 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 wobble. So, that'll work. We just have a shaggy-delicious amount of wires to maintain. All right, let's get the RGB out of the way first, since those are the bigger wires. All right. And this will just sit over there for now. So, I mean, basically, you just need to run these back and forth, I guess. And we can let's just plug them in first. Let's kind of see if we can just do like you know how we do with the wire bundle lump that just kind of works out, especially something like this that we're never going to see again. We're not going to a competition. And I understand I'm not pre-excusing myself for poor wire management. I'm just saying, like, sometimes wire management is simple as just going with a bunch of wires, and you know, it's like some shit like this. This will pop out right there. Is that going to reach? That's got to come down here. Okay. We got a longer one of these. Come on. So, oh, that's a really tight fit in there. Okay. Come on. Oh, this is going to be fun to get the zip tie through. Come on. Say pull it, don't cut it. There we go. All right. That may be the permanent solution for that. They put those screw holes really close to the body, so that the screw itself is very close to the body on them. And we'll see what we can do with that. Let's headbutt the camera again. Kind of get that around the corner. Oh yeah, okay, that's not so bad. All right. Let's kind of tuck this in here for the moment, if I can. It's a shame all the ones we got are all like little short fellers. That's all right. All right, now it'll attach up there. That'll attach there. That stays loose. So that's a good basic start. Then we can make everything a little prettier with zip ties. So now we got to run this. And if this isn't long enough, no, that should be. So I have an extension cable for these somewhere over there if we need it, because we do not have one with our kits, which is fine. Alright, so crap ton of wire. Let's go to fan 2. And these plugs kind of fall apart a lot, so I tend to put tape on them, because the only thing that's holding them in there is pin fitment, which is, yeah, you shouldn't have to rely on pin fitment to hold your stuff together. That's that. Which one are we plugging in here? So this would go to the motherboard. So we can bring this one up here. Plug it in there. And depending on where the other fans go, we may be able to chain it in line with this for the ARGB. If we don't use if the controller that came with is actually messed up, we'll have to figure that out. But for now, that's for power. All right, let me go ahead and tape these, so that that doesn't become a, oh man, now I gotta take it all apart. Like some places you can get actual clips that lock in and hold them together, which is cool. kind of big, and like, yeah, if you do your tape right, it's not a big deal. Just don't be like wrapping it like super tight and stuff, because that's actually going to make it hold less. Because it starts to like try to unsquish itself or unstretch itself, it can actually start pulling dust under everything and getting contaminated. So just a loose wrap, that's all you need. You almost can't even see it. So, okay, so this here is going to the motherboard. We're going to need about that much. Flip this around on the correct side. I mean, really, we're not going to need much. That's probably enough right there. Are these all plugged in? I feel like we have an extra end. Ah, no, okay, we're good. Yeah. And there's the phone. It's funny, every time I do that, I look over and I just see it go whoop, whoop, whoop on the other laptop. Alright, so we basically need a wire that manages that to go there. So let's drag, let's see. You know, that's going to have to go there. And nothing else. So let's zip tie that. We'll use one of the zip ties that came with something. So that should be fine to zip tie that. I think this came with the case. Okay, not too tight. Actually, I should have left that a little bit looser, but that should be fine. Now let's see. How do we want to manage this? Got to manage you, boy. Alright. So that's going to go about there. Let's just put that in the twisty tie for now as a holder. This mess. Come up here. And let's just zip tie this all to itself before we secure it. What's up, Josh? So I'm just going to tighten. Okay. Can I get a zip tie in my headbutt? Headbutt? See if I can wrap a zip tie around this. That would be super cool. All right. Now, let's hit the camera again. Let's get that under there. All the zip tie. Put that in there. Let's attach it down here now. Okay, it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and kind of snug this lump up just to itself, just to kind of help stiffen the whole thing, to just help everything hold into place. Okay. And let's see what we can do with zip ties in this. This is going to be a little tough. Now let's see what we can do. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. All right. Now I need you to go underneath. Please. And thank you. All right. Like I said, I'm not making, I don't make show PCs. I make PCs that have pretty good wire management and they get the job done. So these can all basically be the same length. So let's do that. Because it is CPU fan, pump, and JRGB. They're right next to each other. It's like they fucking knew some shit like this would happen. Which one's in the middle? The pump is in the middle. This is the pump. Now the pump is the 3-pin. So that can be just a little bit shorter. Yeah, that should work. Tug that through as needed. Okay. Now let's see what we're doing with this. So that's the pump there. Let's run a zip tie through everything here, including that little loopy doopy. Just kind of do a S loop right here to take up slack. And since it's flat cable, you can kind of go ahead and, you know, pinch it a little bit to hold its form a little. Come on, right there. And that around the corner. Like that, and then we're going to get one in here. Alright, that's pretty good there. Trash can. Trash can. No, 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 trash can. No, 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 no. Wee. Okay. Just put one more around here. I think we're going to have two more when we're done. One here and one a little further back down. I mean, I got to give it, I'll say this much. If you're paying $50 for a fan, it is nice not to do this. I mean, I'll give them that. I think you can find some like $35-$40 for, like, you know, not Corsair or Lian Li brand. But, I mean, it is pretty goddamn convenient. But I think this is fairly acceptable. And this one this is also GRGB. That's why we have a separate header we can plug that into, or we can chain it up here, but we can't run that through here. It's a shame they didn't do that. A lot of companies will do that. They'll chain all the cabling through the hoses. Okay. All right. So ignoring that because that's different. So this is what we got. I said it ain't show quality per se, but I think it'll do just fine. And now we have our fans, pump, in RGB. It's not too bad. Now actually we're going to go ahead to go to mount it, and it's going to be like horribly aligned. Nothing's going to be close. Dogs and cats sleeping together. Total chaos. All right, move this chair out the way. Phew. Wimp using flush cuts, be a man, and use dikes and leave the sharp booby traps. Oh my god. C2S, I run into those sharp booby traps enough at work. Like, it's gotten to the point where guys have started talking to each other, be like, man, like, can you, like, I've actually given some people some of these, been like, look, man, when you cut your zip ties, I don't understand why you have to cut them like you're trying to create a dagger from fucking Game of Thrones or something. But holy shit, could you at least try to get a little bit flat? Yeah, it's real fun when you run into that sometimes. You're like, doink! Ah, you mother Frenchy toaster. That's dirty words from Scruff. Does this have a lock tab? I think this just goes on and spins. Let's see. It may have a specific. Actually, I don't think it does. Oh, no, there it is. Boop. Yeah, I thought it had a very specific spot for that. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. Let me move this over here. Hold on. My towel is bunching up a little bit as I'm trying to do this. Let me move the camera up. Try to straighten it out. That is something I try to pay attention to, especially on the show, is to make sure like everything is as square as possible. Alright, which screws are these? That would be all these here. They should all be, oh no, they're different threads. Love that. That's fine thread, that's fine thread. Ah, that's probably for the AMD hold downs. All the rest, that's for, wait, what? Is this the same thread? Oh, it is. God. Alright, whatever. There's those. I still haven't peeled off the bottom of this yet, just because we're not quite ready for it. And that's another reason, like, when you're doing these, to take all the case fans out, because, like, you never know what's going to be in the way when you're putting this stuff. Oh, I'm doing this backwards. Oh, did I wire manage this the wrong direction? No, that's right now. Yeah, we're good. I was just like, crap, did I just do that all on the wrong side? But no, we are good. Again, move carefully, move slowly. Pay attention to both ends of the cooler, because that's sitting on a $800 video card, so you want to be careful. Okay, that's good. How's the screw mounts looking? Is that good? Are we good? Oh, look at that. I can see all the holes. I can see the holes. I can see your holes. We are good, ladies and gentlemen. And I even mounted the fans the right way, so they're blowing out. Wow. It's like I've done this before. And I'm not saying that sarcastically, like, you know. I'm just getting back into building computers. I guess that goes to say, if If you're trustworthy enough for me to put a computer together for you, I might. Obviously, we have some things to work out, as I'm not like a business, but, and I'm not trying to start a business. But, kind of like this. I like doing this again. Can you see what the hell? Yeah, you can't even see what I'm doing. Sorry. I like this camera mount. It's not real noisy either. Oh, and Jeremy, just so you know, with every PC build, there is free cat hair included. Because I don't care how many times I clean this out, I guarantee there's going to be cat hair somewhere in it. I mean, I just washed this, yes, I just washed that yesterday, and it's already got cat hair on it. And the cats aren't even allowed in this room because it is dangerous in here now. When I moved out of this room, it was the old bedroom, I fucking was so tired of being down here, I literally just threw what I didn't need on the floor, and there it stayed. I've only just started cleaning stuff up. Well, you got barely any wiggle room in that mofo. That's cool. We'll just bring it all the way. Actually, you don't necessarily want it to bring all the way forward or all the way backward. Kind of right in the middle, just so it's not like pushing against anything that it doesn't have to. And then you don't have to worry about the possibility of as much fan noise. And again, you're screwing into a radiator. So not very snug, but pretty snug. You gotta watch your snugness. You can't over snug. Christ, most of us that are watching this are probably introverts. Over snug can happen. Like, no. Okay. I feel like the camera is having an earthquake session right now. Is that good there? Yeah. All right. Good. Okay, let's move the camera forward so it's a little out of my way and better view for you anyway. I hope. Alright, so now we got to put the thing on the thing. Let's see how we're going to wire manage this here. Alright, that's just the JRGB. So, alright, that we don't need to worry about that ahead of time. Okay. Let's make sure this fits. Okay. That up there. Let's get our standoffs. And don't like push down on the stand. Don't be like, oh, let's make sure it's tight, because it won't be. Like these kind of float. That's why you got that sticky stuff on the back. Like these spacers actually stick up past the surface of the motherboard because you don't want to tighten down against it. Because there are, you know, there's always stuff in the way. I mean, it is funny when they're like 8 million layers of copper. Look at all these tracks. It's like, it's cool, man, but if you have that many goddamn layers, why can't you put the tracks away from like screw holes and shit? You gotta dance around it like you're at like you're trying to do a design party or something. Okay, my cat hair will blend in with your cat's hair. Perfect. Do all-in-ones have a deteriorate or leak or pretty much last forever as C2S. The all-in-one, I have a, what is that? Not a thermal take. Cooler Master. I have a Cooler Master all-in-one on the studio PC. It's been running for almost 4 years, and I overclocked the piss out of that. And that was also cooling the 11900K for a while, overclocked, and it's still running today. Basically, your modern day all-in-one coolers, by the time you need to maintenance them, you're buying a new computer anyway. I mean, they'll come with plugs. Like this has plugs that you can access to drain it if you want to, but for the most part, all-in-ones, you install it and you forget it. I mean, even with custom water cooler loops, most of your antifreeze, as long as you get quality antifreeze, like name brand antifreeze, or well, coolant, again, I mean, they say you should do it every, a year, maybe 6 months. Everybody's got their own recommendations, but there's people that go years. And if you have clear tubing, then that's all you need, because if it's clear, you can look at it and see if it's growing. If nothing is growing in your system, then there is no reason to open it up, because it still works. As long as it's working and nothing's growing, just leave it. That's why, well, anyway, wow, see, this is me not being high. That's why I like clear hoses and custom water loops, because you can see if it needs maintaining that, and I like how the light goes through the water anyway. You did hole a scruff sticker in it, didn't you? Hide. Oh no, I'm going to put a built by Scrufdog sticker in here. I have extras from when I built my computer. So, oh yeah, there'll be something in here. All right, 1 second here. Let me take another puff. And we'll mount that cooler. Assembling a personal confuser. That's all right. Sorry about that. All right, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and peel that. Shiny. Now you be very careful with it. All right. Let's see. I'm a thick X man myself. Seems like everybody's got their own technique. Never had a problem with the way I do paste. And there's a million ways to do thermal paste. And there's a million ways to do thermal paste. You know what I mean? Like, it just works. It's fine. Especially with as much pressure as you put on these damn things nowadays. Holy shit. I do like to push and just give it that little side, circle around wiggle. When you put these screws on, just finger tight them at first. Preferably go opposite. And this one's kind of in the way now of the tubes, but that's going to happen. You want to do equal pressure as much as possible when you're tightening these down. Like, don't just do one, crank it all the way down, and then do another one. Like, go opposite corners. And don't even go all the way down, just a little bit here, a little bit there, and just make your way around. And then the screw will finally bottom out. And that is when you are done. Most of the time you can do this finger tight, like that just bottomed out. That just bottomed out. That just bottomed out, and I can't really get to that one. And this is just as soon as you hit bottom, haha, just stop. You don't need to like, because the spring tension will hold everything in place. I'll clean that. There's a little smudge on there. At least that you can rotate, but we are in the correct orientation. Why do my nails look all jacked up? Jeez. With modern non-conductive thermal interface materials, it doesn't matter if you just glop it on like ice. Yeah, that's why like when I was using Arctic Silver 5, it's always like, oh, just a little bit, because otherwise, yeah. It is nice that they, hey, we should probably use non-conductive, figure out a way to make that non-conductive. I mean, not all paste is non-conductive now. Like, you can literally get liquid metal, which is pretty much what it sounds like. Let's see. So this, you can run around the RAM. You spin me right RAM, baby, right RAM, like a record, baby, right RAM, RAM jam. New Scrufdog RAM jam. I can actually use those header pins to hold this in place since those aren't being used. Nice. Oh, let me see if I can show you where that went. Put it right in the middle, and then I'll zoom down. Prepare for zoom. Woo, woo, woo. There you go. Got it coming out and then tucked underneath that heat sink. And then it's being held back by jumper pins that we'll never use. All right, zooming some way. All right. Sorry for the janky zoom. Let me put this tight. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. And that lines right up with a hole in the back. So we can run that to the back section. Connect it to one of these and then run it back out. We can actually put that there. This is the one that's going to now go into the back. Let's get that out of everything else. Let's actually put it behind these cables. Whoop. Kind of train it. Like, don't be afraid to like train your cables, which means like give them a bend, give them a tug. Make sure you try to put them in the direction they need to go to facilitate your wire management. And that is, which one is this? It says that's J Rainbow 2. Yep, okay, there's one is down, what's this, J Rainbow V2. I don't know, maybe there's two different banks. Whatever, we're going to plug it into J Rainbow V2-2. I may have two separate banks on here now. A lot of times the MSI will actually come with Corsair adaptability as well, because they're homies. Tuck that wire down. Right, now we gotta plug these in here. Let's see. Those are the fans. Whee! Okay. She toit. Ow. Whew. that under there. Bring this around. I may switch microphones here soon just to make sure we don't have a sudden dropout, since I'm not necessarily staring at chat. And this is only a 3-pin, which is fine for the pump. Just a little weirder to line up without all the pins. Ah, there we go. And I'll tuck that. Oh, you kidding? Let's get that out of there. Not that. Can we move that up? Okay. There. It's not bad. It's right here. Alright. That went pretty good. That's on, that's on, that sucks, but I don't think you'll see that when the glass is on. But that's not horrible. I mean, see, it's just so tight up there, I didn't really want to pull it around that end. That's okay. I don't think you'll be able to see that. I don't think the bugs are going to, like, roll up on Jeremy and be like, bruh, your wire management's trash. We're just going to let you live. Okay, so what do we got left here? Power supply. Yeah, that would help. We can stare at it for a while and hope that it turns on. So let's get the power supply in. Then we'll flip it back around, put some fans in here, and see what we got. Ooh. Let's see. Lift up. Whoop. Actually, let's just roll it this way, the whole way. We still got to plug in all our I/O stuff too. We'll get to that. Just kind of move that there for now. To give us as much room for power supply as possible. As a matter of fact, those fans aren't going on for a moment, so we can just do this. Let's attach that there. Yeah. Alright, let's see what's going on over here. Let me go get a drink. Hold on. Let me hit that bong. Alright. I keep forgetting I'm walking away. I don't have to speak loud. You're still with me. Here's the computer I built last, 2 weeks ago? Sitting in the room. My server. Alright. Alright, yeah, cheers everybody. I'm going to take another hit of this vape. So now you see that whole heatsink, it's actually pushing against this plate, the factory mount plate for the clasp, I guess you call it, the hold down CPU. So it's all just a big fucking sandwich that doesn't put a whole lot of strain on the motherboard if done properly. That wire is as tight at the redneck family gathering at the sack race. It still messes with my mind that MSI is a premium brand. I remember when they were strictly OEM provider for gateway and compacts. Yeah, MSI has come a long way. Like, right now they're kind of looking up to be like the top of the gaming industry because Asus is just fucked. Asus just keeps pissing everybody off with their shady ass RMA products. They're putting out shady, their BIOSes are burning everything up. Christ, first they're burning up the new Ryzen chips. Now they're fucking causing instability on the Intel, that's kind of everybody's fault. But I mostly blame Intel on the instability because, like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Like, why would you take the same chip and just overclock it and call it new? Like, they just kept running for the hertz. Didn't care about anything else. I love, that's why I like these, man. This is all your cables. I got one of these in my other thing. Cably goodness. And we're not going to need that adapter. We'll just use the 12 volt plug that's in here so we can skip the fucking shady ass NVIDIA adapter. Under zero fan mode, the fan stops operation at low loading. Yeah. Always leave that on. Zero fan mode on. There's usually enough air moving through a case nowadays that you don't really need to worry about that. There was your specs. There's the dreaded dun 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 fucking melty plug that we won't have any issues with on this system. Okay, and obviously with this case, make sure you don't just drop this because it lines up right here. So you don't drop it in there. Alright. Another good box. We'll see what box holds everything. We got screws in here, or is there my, yep, okay. That there. That goes over there. This we'll need later. Installation tips. Plug it all the way in. Thanks, boss. Good talk, good talk. Alright. Which way does this sit? It sits as it should with the fan out. Very good. So be careful. Like you have a lip here, you can kind of see that it's sitting on now to keep it up. But just be careful, you don't want to slip. And yeah, most I think most of your higher end power supplies have that zero fan mode where it has a controller in it now that it monitors temperature. Like power supplies are getting smarter and smarter. So alright, and again, don't tighten everything up until you get everything in. And these you want very snug, not super tight, very snug. Again, we're dealing with sheet metal, you know what I mean? Tight. It's nice that there's nothing here, so I could take that cage off for the solid state drives. But it will be shipping, quote, shipping, you know, when we're done, just in case they ever need them. And here's our wires that stuck out the back. We actually just need to plug these together and then just we'll tape it up and then attach them back here. Okay. That was where we added in the pump RGB to the fan RGB, so now they are in parallel. On port 2 V2-2, which I'm guessing they just have a more advanced RGB controller, probably like the standard one and then a more advanced one, I don't know. That's really the only thing about MSI that I'm like, about. Is Mystic Light and their onboard RGB controller is kind of weak. Like, it's kind of like, yeah, great. You know what I mean? Not really, I mean, it's fine. But if it was more advanced, if it had more advanced stuff like a lot of other ones, then I'd probably do more with it. But that's okay. That's why my next machine is probably going to have a Corsair controller and plug it into the MSI board. Then you don't have to worry about extra stuff because the MSI board will give you access to your Corsair stuff without having to use a USB 2.0 header that you could use for other stuff. like LCD monitor panels, stuff like that. Whee! Alright, so that's tucked out there. Alright, some more tea, another puff. I need to like, oh yeah, it's 420 anyway. Alright. Let me go ahead and switch microphones, just so we don't have a sudden drop. The V2 are 5 volts, and there's also 4-pin RGB header for 12 volt. Yeah. Yeah, we're good there. Alright, hold on. Hopefully this will go okay. Let the second one boot up. And can you still hear me? Like, is everything good? How we doing? Check 1, 2. Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
All good. Thank you, Franco. We'll take another, let's do a little 420. Alright. Worst comes to worst, if that RGB controller still works, we can always plug the fans into that. Man, sorry about the coughing. Okay, so we'll run power and then we'll deal with accessories. So what do we need to power up here? Guessing the motherboard would like to have something. Let's see what we got. We got melty pants. Don't worry, this one won't melt. We've got CPU board 1, 8-pin to 8-pin. There may actually be, sometimes they have those in a dual configuration. Here's some old school stuff. Old school SATA. Another CP, what is this one? This one's weird. This is, no, okay, so that's if you want to do the 1 to 2, we might use that one. Let's see what else we got. So we got that, that's important. Let's see, so we have 2 dedicated ones for PCIe. Oh no, and then we have the 2, yeah, we'll use this one, the 2 CPU power ones. I'd rather use them separate than use a splitter to split them off. It's just safer. Especially with everything being so picky with power nowadays. Now let's start with the main ATX plug. I still advise you to mount the main board GPU bracket for holding the back end up. Well, that's because right now the supports are diagonal to each other. Like, they should be fine. Especially if this is a lighter card. But that support actually gives it 2 points diagonal to each other. I think that'll be just fine. Sandwich bracket on there, that's holding it really well. Let's see, this goes no, that's this way. There we go. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to pop this through? Let's just do that for now. should still have enough room to get into the fans. Okay. It's going to be a little tight getting the... Oh no, we'll screw them in from the back. Yeah, that'll be fine. Train these wires. Little... There you go. Do as much training of the wires before you plug it in as possible. And be very careful when plugging in the main plug, because it is a very flexible spot in the motherboard where they put them. So I try to get some bottom support to it as well. Just take your time, wiggle and push. That is freaking tight. Let me like this. Whew. It's always nice when you hear that click, because you know the pain is over. She's in. Whew. All right. We got back here now. Phew, okay. And that's fine. Like, we don't need to make this pretty back here. This is fine. So that can actually go there. Like, it wants to be right there, so that can go right there. But you do want to fasten your cables. Just because when you're moving stuff around, you don't want wiggly bits and things going into weird places. Weird places. Whoop. Oh, that went into the hole. Damn it. Maybe it fell through. It's in there somewhere. Oh, there it is. You don't want to leave a zip tie tail in there accidentally. Get a toy forklift holding it up. Yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. Alright. And let's get these two going. I guess this will be the CPU side. And those are where it's here. Yeah, that's lined up kind of not awesomely. Alright, that's fine. Like, the hole that is meant for these is like probably that far offset from where they're supposed to be. And it's not like they're in like a weird place. That's a pretty normal spot for these to be. Well, that's all right. got here? Okay. There we go. Snap. Good snap. Good snap. Not a bad snap. And that's you can actually see it through the top of the case. Snap. Good snap. Good snap. Oh, that's all right. It doesn't look weird or anything. That's cool. All right. Okay. Let's see. If we attach those there, more zip ties. More zip ties. That's kind of bent weird. All right. All right, hold that in place. Do. Guess we can just kind of zip tie these together as we go. Might as well. Every few inches, once we see, that'll be a good spot. Again, even though you're working light, be advised that the delicate as hell motherboard is directly under you, nice and exposed, so don't drop your tools. Okay. So one right here. Okay. These are going right here. What's the shorter one? Okay, put the shorter one there. It's a hell of a clip. Oh no, wait a minute. Why is that different? Are these actually... The clips are different. Look up this way. Okay. No, that's fine. It's the first time I've seen a modular power supply have a direction, but maybe that's just because I haven't seen that yet. We gotta flip these cables around. That should be fine, I think. Alright, not a big deal. Just gotta reach in there. Just gotta reach in there. Let's use this. Which one's on top? Let's just do this one. One. Two. Alright. Sorry if that wasn't awesomely in view. Kind of an awkward spot to reach. That's what she said. Ha. Alright. My PSU says on the connectors which end goes where, as well as what the cable's for. Yeah, mine did too. That's why when I saw when it said CPU, I plugged it into like that, but okay. Whatever works. Is that the correct end now? Yep. Alright, let's do this again. Not a big deal. Push that through first. And that one. Flip it around. The long one. Over here. Sorry, I know I'm kind of not giving you a great shot right now. But I'm looking through the vent to do this. That's kind of a tough shot. Come on. Wow, what in the world? There we go. There you go, buddy. Get down, get down, get down. Alright, I'm gonna have to take these zip ties off. It's not feng shuiing with our current cable setup. Okay. Little feng shui. Okay. That should be better. Okay. Re-zip tie that. Toit. Schnippity doo dah, schnippity a. It's always a bad sign when nothing goes wrong. Yeah, really. When everything goes smoothly, that's when you know all hell's about to break you loose. And on another thing, whenever you build your own computer, do not put on the side panel before you try it out the first time. For the first time you hit that button, yeah, it will pretty much guarantee you will fail. That is one of those superstition slash beliefs slash whatever you want to call it, that if you put your computer all the way together before you test it, you are asking for it to fail, because At that point, I guess the universe thinks you're being a little too cocky. I'm like, whatever. Whatever the universe thinks, that's fine. I just won't do that. And I never have. And usually the first time I post, I still have more stuff to do anyway. Like wire management or whatever. Hey, look at that. Click. And we'll run this one under. Click. And I can just kind of, let's see what happens with the 12 high power cable. See where that lands. Well, that's blocked off down there. That's okay. Well, actually, that's where the fans would be, so that's burp. Let's see what we got up front. Let's take a look in the front yard first. Okay. All right, so we got this mammer jammer here. And we're just going to have to take it back around the side because the case doesn't really give you a lot of room. So like flip it over. That's alright, but that'll just mean it'll be like the hosey stuff will be here. Since this is a wrapped cable that kind of blends in anyway. Let's see, this is plugging in like that. Let's train the cables this way. Little bits. Like I said, this will never pull 600 watts, but you know it says. Yeah, I know it's upside down, but yeah. Be careful with what you wish for there, what you're hoping to get out of one of these cables. Just be careful. Always make sure it is completely seated. Listen for that click. Get down in there and look. Don't push on it, you know what I mean? Because then you'll cause problems as well. That is fully seated. Just pull that down along there. That'll be all right. Right there. Whoop. Through here. Okay, so we can do that and then bend that around. So we can secure both these in one shot. It is nice, there's little tabs and stuff for attaching things to, you know. Come on, baby. There we go. Even better. Sweet. Okay. And that goes that way. Just give it a little pre-bend there. Nice. Okay. And the same thing on this end. You hear that click, that's fine, but just make sure, nice and flat, nice and square, nice and sturdy. Let's go ahead and bend these. Okay. Before we add any more zip ties, we'll start doing the I/O stuff. that's all we need here for now. I think that's pretty much it. Because the fans all plug into the motherboard. Not some janky daisy chain like my server was. Cool, so let's put all these in the bag. Thank you for my ears, yes. Old cases were built out of razor blades. Oh my God, yeah. Oh geez. Any old case you see, just assume every edge has been laser frickin' sharpened. Like, they were just dangerous. Like, you could tell they were just pressed in a hurry. Like, obviously the factory they were at was like, they'd never even heard of a file or sandpaper, but they probably knew a lot about Band-Aids. Oh, come on. That's always a bummer when they can't do the plug. Like, this is all standard. Like, these are all standard nowadays. You should just have the big plug. Alright. It means I may actually have to look at the motherboard manual, because I always forget what they are. Because I'm not used to having to deal with them. There's two USB 2.0 headers. Okay, what's this, audio? Oh, this is USB-C, or, yeah, USB 3.0. Oh, no, one of these should be audio? USB, oh, yeah, it is, HD audio, okay, alright, derp. Alright, where are all these things here? These should be on the bottom. This is usually right here on the side. And these are on the bottom. So these we can just barely get in there, I think. So audio and USB 2 are usually about in the middle. We'll wire manage this when we get a chance. The switches are usually that mess right there. And 3.0 is usually right there. I think I see it right there, which would be... we can use this one here. Okay. We'll deal with that once we're plugged in. Okay. All right, so we have that's all the jumper stuff there. There's 3.0 up here. Just gotta bend that, train that a little bit. And if you want to get like serious with training wires, you get like hair dryer and warm them up, bend them, and then kind of cool them off. That's why sometimes you'll see me doing this, just to heat the thicker casing up, just to make it a little more pliable. And sometimes when it like calms down, you know, quote unquote cools off, it'll help hold its shape a little bit better. I'll just run that right with the ATX. Okay. Fan, USB. This is HD audio, and that's over there. Oop, as it should be. Okay. So we still have an extra USB 2.0 header for if there's ever any expansion or LED controllers. I think the LED controller that came with the case just plugs into a JRGB plug on the motherboard. Sorry. Okay, put this in here. I'm gonna hang this off because it looks like there's so much wire, it's hard to push it into the motherboard. Because all the slack's like, what do you want me to do, bud? That's in. That's in. I'll get those switches in a second. Let me sort these out first. Okay. So this is good. We can attach that somewhere. Guess we can run that like that. For now, we can put that one there. Do that. That'll run it down pretty clean, and then we can put slack in the bottom. All right, where's the... There's one there. Okay. Attach this to the ATX cable. Might actually have to get a longer zip tie for this one. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's see. Okay. Do. Alright, that should be fine. The fans will be... Yeah, I should clear that. So the fan should be on this side. Scratch that itch. Scratch that itch. All right, that goes right down to there. And then, can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. All right. There we go. Come on. Shimon. Is that going to be enough to grab that? Yeah. Stick an extra one here just to help support it. There's no like wire clippy thing on there, but this will keep that USB-C cable from popping out of there. That's cool there. I may actually put a zip tie right there. Yeah. Actually, if I just attach it there, that'll be pretty good supports. I said, since there's a lot of zip tie spots, but not necessarily, you know, you always wish there was one more zip tie spot somewhere. That's all right. Okay, that's good. Toit. You should not see any of the color that's in the plug. That's why a lot of those, like this one, has yellow in it. Yellow being alert. You can, if you can see this, you might melt your shit. But we cannot see that. Toit. All right, let's deal with these. And then we'll deal with this slack down here. I'm going to take a puff here in a second to see what's up with chat. What time is it? 5 o'clock, all right, 3 hours. It takes a little bit longer with the better systems. Deltic engine hates zip ties, period. I almost never use them. I do reuse existing ones wherever I can. Yeah. I can't talk about case manufacturers. I've Dremeled cases and then left the little needle pointy bit to stab myself on. Yeah. A hairdryer or a hot air gun can help soften cables. Maybe a hot air gun. Oh yeah, you just gotta watch. I tend to not say hot air gun because then if you're not careful, you're going to get too hot. Whereas with a hairdryer, you're not going to actually melt the cable like you might with a hot air gun. Like I know generally speaking, the people that watch these videos are on the more intelligent side, but every once in a while, you're going to have someone come through and who knows what happens. All right. Let's see. Switch configuration. I used to know this shit 20 years ago, but man, they don't have. Oh, they do have the little map for it. Well, that's so tiny and cute. Hold on. Did I close the manual? No, I didn't. Okay. Oh, that's for the mag. It's the motherboard. Sorry, this doesn't actually come with a full motherboard manual. But it should be the same for this motherboard, which does have a user manual. Because the mapping is going to be the same motherboard to motherboard, because it's usually just a plug. And I cannot see that freaking far in. Alright, here we go. So, well, it's actually a little bit different, but that's okay. Speaker. Power LED minus power. That doesn't actually make sense what I'm looking at. Oh, no, okay, I see it. I see what we're doing. Okay. All right, let's do hard drive. Hard drive. Where's plus? That's plus. And we got power LED. That's plus. And negative. Power switch on top, reset switch on bottom. Hardly see what the hell's going on here. Hold on. That's nothing. And power switch. Ah. Oh, wait, what's this one? RGB switch. Oh no, that was for if we're doing something different, I believe. Let me see. Oh, that must be a little power for that. Yeah. Let me see what where's that motherboard thing? That, or not the motherboard, the case. This had something about that one plug to see if that's something that actually is important. Fan connecting, radiators, not quite what you think. Reset power LED, RGB power set, USB reset switch. LED switch. Oh, it's for the button on the LED. I don't know that there's actually a spot on the motherboard for that. Yeah, I don't know that we're real concerned about the power LED. Well, oh, it's what, because it wants to make different. It wants to make the power switch all colorful and shit. Yeah, I don't think Jeremy cares about colorful power switches. He's not a huge RGBer anyway. No, this is a whole. This is just so that I guess the power switches looks fancy or something. Nothing important. Let's tuck that there. All right, that'll hold that there. Okay. So yeah, there's not even a spot on the board. You'd have to run a separate power thing to that. I think that's what this one adapter is. Yeah, that's what this is for. They want you to run it to this. I'm like, you know what? That's a whole entire cable just so that a power switch looks pretty. I imagine if Jeremy is watching, he does not care if his power switch is pretty. But if he does, we can put that cable in there. Okay. It's all in. That's all the way in. Wait a minute. Alright. I'm allergic to unnecessary tidying. Yeah. Kind of allergic to most tidying. House chores. God. Stupid house chores, man. Whatever. Kind of what you do when you own a house. You gotta clean it every once in a while. Alright, that should be nice and tucked up-ish. There it is. And that there. And that there. Alright. Time for a zip tie. Do 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 do. If it is decided that we hook that up, I mean it doesn't take long to do. But I know he's not super into RGB stuff. He's probably just going to set it to a static color and go. Especially because, like he's saying, if he's playing a game, he doesn't want to be distracted by a flashy ass computer. Okay. Okay. What can we do with these? Okay, you can bend that one. Actually, I think I can just zip tie that right there and it'll just hold in a good spot. Roll it. Bend that tab up so you can actually grab it. Do 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 do. Alright, so now that's kind of sitting in there. Yeah, just kind of laying there, but it's all bent in a way that it's nice and tucked. for that right in there. Not too bad. It's a shame the holes don't line up. Like the access through the motherboard holes. That's okay. Alright. At this point, we can try to turn it on. Suppose, see, we don't have any power plugs down here. That's SATA. We got our 3.0 blicky right here. Let me pull that up a little bit. Okay. USB 2.0 front panel. We got the audio. We got the switches. That's plugged in for its RGB. Those are plugged in. So like right now the CPU has a cooler and that has a cooler. So we have enough to post before I deal with a million fans, which I'll mount them up, but I don't think I'm going to wire manage them on stream because we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. So, let's see. Let's move that there. Grab my old 720 DVI test monitor. Which is much shit as I talk. I mean, it's an Asus monitor, but it's an old cheapie. But it works. That'll be good to see if that's good enough to see if it posts. And I guess we'll put in the big GPU. Alright. That's there. Is this on? No. Now that is on. Okay. And let's see, that's got power. We need to plug this mammer jammer in. Did I have a power cord already? Yes. That'll be fine. We're not fucking gaming here. Make sure it's turned off. And I have a keyboard somewhere. Plug this right in. Like when you're doing like when you're doing your first post and you want to make sure the best you can to get the keyboard to recognize, plug it into the motherboard just in case something's wrong with your front panel plugs. Alright, make sure these are awake. Make this a little less, like it's going to be upside down. That's because the cables are just short. But we can kind of do this. We're going to kind of prop this. That's a little better. Like we're working on it. This is all just kind of a thrown together workbench to work on all kinds of stuff. All right, final checklist. CPU and thermal paste. These are all tensioned down equally. They are bottom out. RAM is seated. That is seated. That stupid ass plug is seated. Our bar up here is applying tension to the card as it is. That's good. Fans are plugged in right here. Right there. The pump is plugged in. RGB for the pump is plugged in, which obviously it's not important right now. I'm gonna massage this cable a little bit. Can't really get this lump out because of just how things are set up, and that's fine. That shouldn't get anywhere near the fan. That's good, that's good, that's plugged in. That is, I cannot get my fingernail in between the two pieces of plastic, so that's good. That's in. Alright, so we're gonna, crap, I don't have any way to start a poll. Oh, whatever. So we think it's going to post the first time, or you think we're going to smoke this mother? That should be everything. Y'all ready for this? Let me, what happens if I drop the lights a little bit? AKA twist out one of the bulbs. That really didn't, that helped a little bit. What's Jeremy got here? I need my power switch to shine as bright as a lighthouse. Shall it be a beacon for those who seek you out? All right, if you're following along, where's the post lights? Can you see the post lights? Let me put my finger on them. Yeah, if you follow these lights here, that'll kind of give you a clue. Because as long as they keep moving up, you're good. That's a little better. So yeah, you'll see some lights light up here as long as they keep moving. Then the things are posting, and if it stops somewhere, it'll tell us what the problem is, and then we can check. And pretty much every BIOS nowadays, it seems, is delete, 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 delete to log in, and I know that's how it is for MSI anyway. All right, I'm gonna hit the power switch to turn the power supply on. Okay. Some motherboards will give you an indicator that they sense power. This does not. That's a surprise. Maybe it wants to post first. All right, let's try pushing the power switch. Where is it? Contact. You got to give it time. It may boot twice because it's got to train the memory. It's got to learn the memory. So sometimes this will just sit there for a while and then it'll flip and reboot. That's usually what happens. Like, that's normal. That's fine. Should start back up. Now it'll probably post because it just read the, it just, I don't know, they call it training the memory. I don't really know what that means. But I think we're about to post. Maybe? Yes. Intel. Oh. Where'd it go? All right. Oh, man. Come on, short power cable. You're pissing me off now. Hold on. Let's see. I got this wicked camera mount. I can put it to use. Moving. Hold on. We good? Cable's good. Trying not to rip it out of my phone. There we go. All right. Wow, this zoom is rough, dude. Sorry, there's really not much for fine-tuning the zoom. Let me just try to get closer, I guess. All right. Now, one of the very first things you need to do when you first boot up a new computer is, if you look right here, whoop, that says DDR speed 4800 megahertz. That is the baseline stock memory speed. Like, any DDR5 memory should pretty much run 4800 megahertz. However, we purchased 6000 megahertz, which means you have to make sure your XMP profile is set properly, which it looks like this one has chosen one. Let's go in and see what's up. It says current 4800, 24. There's your XMP profile right there, DDR5 6000 megahertz. So let's go over here. You see, you can only click that. Some RAM will come with multiple profiles, especially specifically built overclocker RAM. It'll give you different overclocking profiles sometimes, or you can save your own custom profile. This towel does not vibe very well for a mouse pad. So let's select one. Boom. Now we're going to go ahead and reboot. What is that, F10 on these? Save configuration and exit. Extreme memory profile disabled to enabled. Because there's no point in spending money on 6,000 megahertz RAM and then not turning on the XMP profile and running it at some busted ass factory speeds. And yeah, while we're here, cheers everybody. It's always nice when it posts on first boot. And it's always nice. Yeah, so now it's relearning the RAM because we changed the RAM settings. So now it's retraining and relearning the RAM. So it'll probably go through another boot loop. So give that a second and we should boot back up. And this time yep, here we go. All right. So now you see 6,000. So now we're running the RAM at full speed, which is always nice. Next, CPU, we have Game Boost on. When you hit Game Boost, that means it's going to give, since we are a K, this is an i7-14700K, that means MSI is going to give you a very light, which, especially nowadays with all the motherboard versus Intel deal with the 13900s and 14900s, it's going to give you a very mild, managed overclock that you should never have a problem with unless you own a 14900K or 13900K and you don't have a good chip. So turn that CPU Game Boost on. That way when it senses a game, the motherboard will take over and help boost you out. Make sure you got XMP profile on. That makes sure you are getting what you paid for. Otherwise, you might as well have just bought an i5 because that's about where you're at anyway. So we're going to save again. As you can see, it changed all kinds of stuff, including 100 megahertz. A little boost there. So now we'll go back in here. We'll make sure the proper cooling profile is selected because it will run different fan profiles for different cooling solutions of what you have on there. Game Boost enable. It is not modified. It's not recommended to do anything under the BIOS overclock menu. See, was at 3.4. Now we're at 5.6. So now we're running, where we should be at full speed. Let me go in and make sure we have this selected for. Where is that? I know, where is the thing where you selected? That might be actually in advanced BIOS. Because it asked when we first turned it on. I can't remember if we selected the right thing or if it just flipped through. Where is it? That's F7 on MSI. Ooh, look, it's pretty. Alright, motherboard settings, advanced. Come on, baby. USB port, no. Where the hell is it in here? Not integrated peripherals. Power management, no. Like I used to remember where this was, where you could fix it to, is it in here? Water cooler, okay. CPU cooler tuning, water cooler. Alright, cool. So that's where that needs to be. And also, if it knows that it's doing water cooling, it will tend to give you a little, that little extra. Because it knows water cooling can handle more, booyah. Let's see what. Where is. There it is. Hardware monitor. What is that? CPU fan is just balls out. No. I'll smart fan that. Because the CPU fan on this is the fans for the radiator. So. Well, I'll have to tweak all this. Like, Jesus, yeah, let's turn that down a little bit. I like that fan's going balls out about 75 degrees. Because once it gets that hot, like you're already in the area of it's going full blast. Like you might as well catch it early. But I mean, that already slowed down the fans a significant amount. Well, I'd say only 2 fans that are running right now. Well, 4070's running. All right. Currently, our CPU temperature is at 36 degrees. That's good. All right, let's close that. So we got good post. What BIOS version are we? November of last year. That's not bad. Let's see. Where's all my USBs? I believe this is the BIOS updates. Let's see. Let's just plug it in. See if I forget if BIOS auto recognizes USB stuff when you plug it in now or not. And flash. Do you want to auto reboot and enter flash mode? Well, there you go. We gotta do it anyway. So we'll leave it there. I'm not going to put it in the flash mode, the flash BIOS socket. I'd rather manually do it. But this, like I said, this profile, this BIOS is about 2 weeks old. There's another one that's listed as a beta BIOS to address the i900, i9, you know, the 14900 and the 13900 issues. Do. Yeah, it's so nice, C2S, that they finally figured out how to use a mouse in BIOS. Alright, there's our new BIOS. Are you sure you want to select this file? I am sure. BIOS is updating. Please be sure to lick the motherboard. CPU is now at 29. I have Hiram's boot CD on this one. So we can go in and look around, see if there's, I know there's some light benchmarking stuff in there. Even if we just do CPU ID, it's got a light stress test that we can just get a light test on temperatures. Yeah, and they even recognize wireless keyboards, because before you had to have a wired keyboard and mouse and it would recognize the mouse, but now it just recognizes wireless stuff. And this is really good. This is mango. It's really tasty. I've never had just mango before. Like when I opened the pack, it fucking smelled like a mango. It was amazing. Okay, it didn't catch on fire yet. I like the little yellow accents on it. Like, that's kind of cool. Update can wipe your settings. Yeah. We'll see what she does. I guess she's going to have to relearn the memory, I presume. And we'll go in, we'll check XMP and game boost. Fan profile will be easy because it was running balls out. Should just go right into BIOS. Yep. All right. Yep. Reset. That's fine. Why am I grabbing the keyboard? I don't actually need the keyboard. Water cooler. Yep. CPU. XMP profile. Let's pull up hardware monitor. Put this back on smart fan. Actually, it saved the temperature for the smart fan, so it saved some stuff. That's all right. All right, so that's fine. The pump, I guess I'll have to look to see. Can't imagine the pump's actually going 4,000 RPM, but it might. That is not a D5 pump. I'll have to check to see exactly what they want 4 specification on that. But starting with pulse width modulation is always the smart move, because if you go full DC, sometimes you can fuck some shit up. So we'll stick with that. I'll tweak that. I'll look that up. All right, let's reboot. Go back into BIOS. Make sure we're stable, at least in BIOS. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Sure, Jeremy appreciates me putting his computer together. Finally. Well, actually, I shouldn't say finally. Actually, this process has been moving along rather quickly. It's got to relearn the RAM again because we changed the speed. Like, you get a lot of RAM. Like, when you get newer computers, if they start rebooting in boot loops and shit as you're doing updates, just let them go. It's just what they do nowadays. I guess, oh yeah, we should go make sure. Let's surf the BIOS. There we go, 5.66 thousand. What do we have for drives? Nothing UFI. Where's device? Storage. Nothing on SATA. Well, yeah, I know there ain't gonna be anything on SATA. Where the hell do you find... Yeah, maybe I gotta go advanced. Settings, system status. There we go. All right. M2.1 Samsung, M2-4 Samsung, 2 terabyte. Very good. BIOS is April 26th. Good, good. And your mom is good, good. All right, good, good, good. So, let's... Okay, we don't need that. Let's shut it down. We'll throw in Hiram's. See if we can get that to boot up. And we'll be approaching the end here soonish. And take that out. What is it? F2 to select boot. That one I always forget. Boot select. I feel like it's F2. Sometimes it's F8. Yeah, alright, it's going right in. Good. Good, good. Where are we at here? There we go. My dusty ass old monitor. Oh yeah, Mr. 420. Let me go ahead and hit that up. Bowden has a CyberPower battery backup for setup updates. Yeah, I got those upstairs. I need to refresh my workstation. It'll have to wait 12 months though, says Electron Box. That's cool. If anybody wants me to, you know, like I said, I ain't no like professional, but I get it done. You know, I do a pretty good job. Everything seems to want to work. This is loading drivers. I just downloaded this yesterday, so it should have everything we need. We have video, so it's plugged into the RTX, so at least there's that. Alright. That's good. I'm not going to connect it to the network. I don't see much point for that. What do we have in here? CPU Z, alright. Alright, i7-14700k, 5.7 gigahertz at the moment. 8 performance cores, 12 economy cores for 28 threads. Main board, MSI Z790, blah blah blah, that's all there, that's good, that's good. Graphic bus is... I have to look at that. graphics. Now it's only letting. Oh yeah, because the other one's not on. That's really not getting a whole lot of. Sorry. Multi-thread bench. Let's just see. Keyboard. Whee! Control Alt Delete. Let's pull up performance. I thought it told you the temperature here. Alright. Let's move that over there. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm sure we got something in here that can read temperature. All programs. System tools. Hardware info. Sensor. Oh, yeah. Good timing on the memory. Intel Raptor, integrated graphics. Not that one. Oh, and MSI. Oh, okay. It's seen both of them. Where's our temperature at? Do we got temperature? What do we got in here? What can you show me? Let's see temperature on this one. Central prot sensors. There we go. Sorry about that. CPU, core use, frequencies. There's our temperatures. All right, let's do a light stress test and see what she does. Stress CPU, all cores. 68, 69. Oh, she's running the fans. Cores are 69. The package itself is 81. That's fine. We'll kind of give it a couple minutes here. Let the water cooler saturate. What OS are you planning to install? I'm going to put Windows 11 on it. I'm either going to just get it to the point before you do the full setup, or I'm just going to go and do all the setup and then do the reset this PC. But that's only if there seems to be something weird, or if I have to install software or something like that. But we'll see what's up. Like I'm not like on my computers, I run Intel Extreme tuning to overclock stuff, so it boots up in slow mode, and then when it kicks in to Windows, that's when its overclock kicks in, just in case something goes wrong. You can turn your overclock off without having to reflash your BIOS. And if Intel detects a crash and detects that the system did not properly shut down, it will not enable your overclock. It actually checks its own log files, and if it does not see that the last log file was shutting down, like legitimately, then it won't boot up your overclock, because it will assume that there was a problem with it. My workstation is a teenager, says Deltic. Still going strong though. Been looking to build a completely new system. It's just so expensive. Yeah, this can get expensive. I mean, really the expensive part nowadays is just a video card. Like, the chips generally run well enough for what most people want to do. If you're doing big gaming, you are going to need an i7 over an i5 generally, because the physics engines are getting insane. Right, package temperature is at 89, and also a couple thermal cycles will help. And also this is sitting on its side and not up and down, which it would probably prefer to be up and down. But I think we're doing all right there. But yeah, like nowadays, like the budget build I did, I could slap a 4070 in that and probably game my ass off, even though it's a weaker i5. It's just video cards are so damn expensive nowadays. That's really the biggest part of the gaming. It used to be the CPUs were like the tough thing to get, and the graphics cards were okay, you know, kind of just in line with other prices, but it's just getting crazy. Okay, so this is running at core speeds we got here. Core clocks 4.8. Oh. So economy's running, yeah, everything's running balls out. 5.6 all core on your performance cores and 4.3 on your economy core. So they're all running full speed. That's good. That means they haven't thermal throttled yet, which it shouldn't, because everything's doing okay. CPU package is a little warm at 90, but that's fine. That's just basically, you know, it's not measuring the cores themselves. Your cores are, let's see, performance core 5 is a little warm, but they're all like, that's nice right there. All your performance cores are less than 10 degrees apart. One of my performance cores is almost 15 degrees hotter than everything else. And it's not from the thermal paste. It's because it's just, it would have to probably be delidded and pasted. But I just don't feel like trying to crack open an 11900K right now. It just sounds like something that's going to want to break. Now it's going through all kinds of stress tests. It's whooping this thing's ass a little bit. All right. See what's over here. I'm never going to Windows 11. I'm currently on Windows 7, but it looks like I'm finally going to have to upgrade to Windows 10. It will be a dual boot system, and we'll be running Linux. Yeah, I got a bunch of dual boot stuff. This laptop that's actually I'm reading chat on is originally a Windows laptop, but now it's running Linux Mint. Mostly, let's see, I've got 28-year-old laptop running legacy software. Yeah, my oldest laptop I still have is 24 years old. 2000 Sony something or something. Like, we're doing good here. Stress test is good. Okay, we can just kill that. Let's run GPU-Z. It was here. Oh, it doesn't have the full, yeah, since it hasn't connected to the internet, it doesn't have the driver for the 4070 on it yet. It's just running the basic adapter, 8103. But I can read it though. Good speeds, goddamn. Alright, can this do any kind of a... Well, there's no point in stress testing if it doesn't have the right drivers. Okay. I think we're pretty good to go here. I probably am going to end up installing Windows 11 and then doing a reset just to make sure all the drivers get installed, especially with the graphics card. And then just do a light stress test, maybe insert Furmark or something, just to make sure. But, alright, well, we know it works. We know we can do stuff. We know it can take a little bit of a strain there. Fans are working. So what I'm going to do is go get something to eat, and then I'll work on putting the rest of the fans in. I'll end up releasing a follow-up video as like a quote-unquote showcase of it when we're done. And yeah, I think we're good to go here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Yeah, I like when stuff works when you put it together. It's always nice. All right, let me flip this Let me just stand up here. I don't think you need to see the absolute disaster that's behind me. Up, up, up. There we go. Flip that. Selfie. Apparently one's wide and one's not. Loosen that. Do that. And click that. And then you're going to see me like, actually no, I'll stop it and then I can walk over there. Like stream controls on the other side of the room on my Chromebook. Alright, like I said, I'll get the rest of the fans put in here after I get something to eat. And I'll probably, actually, they're Jer-Bear, I'll probably take a few days just to polish. Make sure we're good, make sure we're stable, because I don't want to give you a computer and then, like, in a couple of days go, yeah, well, you see, because, like, that ain't cool. I know what that's like when that one problem I've had with MSI when I got that laptop and it was all new and shiny and started to artifact. I was like, but then I fixed it, so it was fine. But anyway, let's see what's going on over here. I got an Asus one running XP. Nice, nice. In terms of Linux, Fedora 40 seems really good and seems to be running a low latency kernel and the standard giving much better performance. Yeah. I remember messing with Fedora when they were in the single digits. God. But anyway, I am going to go get something to eat and then play with some fans and then probably get on Gray Zone Warfare later. So, I'm going to see if I can tuck those power cables down a little more. Let's see. Actually, yeah, you know what? They're kind of pliable. Oh, there we go. Kind of got that lump out of there. Just make sure you don't push on the motherboard too hard. You know what I'm saying? Ah, that looks better. Here, let me show you real quick. Before we go, let me show you what I just fixed. Okay. That lump that was there, now it's just kind of tucked in, as it should be. The wires are a little crookedy. It's not too bad, but that's just because they have to go that way because the hole's not lined up. But anyway, there's that. Selfie. Selfie. Uh-oh, broke it. Nope. There it is. Alright, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out watching. Good build is always a good build. Like I said, if you're interested, I might be building a computer every once in a while. Maybe if somebody wants it or something. But that'll work. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I'm going to get something to eat, and like I said, I'll post a follow-up to this in a couple days or something for public, not like members only. It's a weird lighting effect because I have two different color bulbs. So, I'm out of here. I will talk to everybody later, and thanks for stopping by. Let's see if I can time this one right. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.